The anticipation and the nerves of opening week are through, and now these teams look to continue either a strong start or build on something that maybe wasn't the best start as we begin the real bulk of this schedule in the Marble Champions 2021. Hello again, friends. I'm Keanu Biedrzycki. Glad to be here on behalf of Marble Fubeca for today's event. This is our second event of the 2021 Marble Champions. A more traditional event, as you see the starting gates for this sprint-style event today. An opportunity for these teams to show off their speed after a little bit more skill and precision was needed in our first event. This one's pure speed. It's just a long sprint right in front of the home stretch and all the fans in the stands. Glad to have them here as always. And there is the entire course. So the starting gates up the front. On the left side, on the right side, you'll have the finishing gate. Here are the overall standings after one event. Swiftblade won our opening event, so they are in the lead with 20 points, leading by 3 over the Snow Wolves, who took silver, and the Archangels, who took a bronze, leading the group. But everybody really still in it after just one event. The teams are ready. The fans are ready. Are you ready? This is event number 2 of the 2021 Marble Champions. This is the sprint race. So again, as you see, this course, typically, you'll see winds and curves and different obstacles for these marbles to avoid. That is not the case today. All about pure speed. Here are the groupings for today's event. Different groups. The style will work the same. Top 2 from each group will advance to the semifinals. Top 2 from each semifinal will advance into our finale. We'll start with Group A. They are the Steel Brothers, Tatu Bola, Snow Wolves, and Flush. And they come out of the gates. Here we go. And out in front, it looks like it's Flush and Steel Brothers coming across the line. Steel Brothers takes the lead, and Flush takes the second advancement place. They get the transfer spot over the Snow Wolves, who finish third. Tatu Bola finishes in last in that grouping, and so they will not advance. You can see Flush in the green. Look like they got out to the lead at first. Those are the silver marbles of the Steel Brothers. Not surprising based on the name. And there is the pass for the lead right at the end. A little bit of contact between the top 2 finishers. Let's have a look. And everything within at least a marble length there. Nothing too crazy. And so the Flush and the Steel Brothers will advance into the first semifinal out of Group A. Group B, the Janitors, the Sphery Spiders, the Archangels, and the Savage Jackal. They release, and right now it looks like it's the Savage Jackal in the lead, followed by the Sphery Spiders. But here come the Janitors, and did the Savage Jackal advance? They did. They just beat out the Archangels. And the Janitors come from behind after running in 3rd or 4th for the majority of that short sprint. Let's see where that run happens. They run the fastest time so far at a 4:9.45. Yeah, they just picked up a lot of speed toward the end. How close was it for second? Looks like it was pretty close. Pretty close all the way around. The exception really of 4th place. Looked like the Sphery Spiders weren't really in it as much as the other 3, but that was a tight run there. So the Janitors and the Savage Jackal advance into the semifinal. They will take on Flush and the Steel Brothers. Moving to Group C, this is the Vikings, the Trojans, the Onyx, and the Oris 1. Come out of the gates, and it's the Trojans and the Vikings in the lead, and they look like they've got a pretty big lead. Yeah, it's just no matter who's going to win, it's the Trojans. Pretty significant there. That was over 0.2 of a second between 2nd and 3rd, and it was never close. Oris 1 finished 3rd, Onyx takes 4th, but neither will advance, obviously, through one of those transfer spots of the group stage. And the Trojans led wire to wire there. The Vikings with a strong finish as well to take 2nd place, and they both advance into semifinal B. And the final grouping will include Swiftblade, our points standings leader. Also the Lynx Rufus, Speedy Hunters, and the Blue Jackets. And they are off. Bad start for Swiftblade. It's the Speedy Hunters and the Blue Jackets. They will advance. Exactly 1/10 of a second between 2nd and 3rd. That was Swiftblade. And almost another full 10th back to the Lynx Rufus. They struggled. Let's have a look. It just looked like Link's Roughest banging off the walls caused some problems. Side by side for the majority of the race for first place. But in these group stages, you only need to be first or second. Wow, yeah, it was close coming across the line for who was going to win the group staging here, but not close for who's going to advance. It was a pretty easy win there for the top two. We have another look at it. Let's see, coming across the line, how close? Pretty close. And so that will move the Blue Jackets and the Speedy Hunters into semifinal B. And here's the first semifinal. We go back to the Janitors, the Savage Jackal, the Steel Brothers, and Flush. The Janitors have the fastest time so far. Can they do it again? They are in the lead. Here is the Flush in second. Savage Jackal making a run. Cannot get it done. The Janitors and Flush advance. Savage Jackal and the Steel Brothers will have to settle for a 5th through 8th place finish. Savage Jackal made a run there. Yeah, the Janitors are they're pretty darn fast right now. It'll be interesting to see if they keep that through the final. If they do, there's nobody that's going to beat them. They have the most speed right now. Just see if they're able to get a clean run in the final, because they're in, as are Flush. Savage Jackal made a strong run. Steel Brothers struggled, in fact, because they made contact there with the Janitors. They never crossed the finish line. So the Janitors and Flush are into the final. And now semifinal B, with the Trojans, the Speedy Hunters, the Blue Jackets, and the Vikings. There we go. And right now it's the Vikings and the Blue Jackets in the lead. Here come the Trojans. They're going to take over second place. They're going to get it done at the line. And that was the fastest time. Yeah, the Vikings just ran a faster time than the Janitors did in the first round, which was the fastest time to that point. A 4:6.58 is the best time now of this event, and it belongs to the Vikings, and they do it en route to a semifinal win and an advancement into the final, and did it by a pretty large margin. Second place was pretty close. The Trojans got it done, and so they get to fight for a win here in the sprint race. Blue Jackets were close, but just could not get enough at the end. So moving into the final, here we go. Flush, Trojans, the Janitors, and the Vikings. And they're off. And if it's not the Janitors or the Trojans, it'd be a shock. They are side by side, cutting in front, and getting the win are the Janitors. Unbelievable move. Shut the door. Have another look at it, and that was a great move by the Janitors. Pretty strong run by Flush as well to stay up there with those top two that clearly had the speed. Almost looked like there was some drafting going on as Flush tried to go from one side to another. And watch right here. You can see cutting a little bit farther in front, just clearing the Trojans. And that's where the Janitors make their move, shut the door, and will win this one. Boy, that was an unbelievable move. We'll see it again from this angle. I mean, you just can't do it better than that. So the Janitors get the win and do it with 1 speed and 2. A great move to make sure that they stayed in front of the Trojans. They are the winners of event number 2, the sprint race. And congratulations to them. A huge win for them, and a show that clearly the Janitors have speed. And so you better watch out if you're doing a speed event here in the Marble Champions League in 2021, because the Janitors may just be the team to beat if that's the case. Great run by them. They'll make their way up to the podium, as well as our second and third place finishers. But they're the ones that get the big trophy. Look at the overall standings from today. The results, the Janitors pick up 20 points with that win. The Trojans finish second, Flush third, Vikings fourth, and the Savage Jackal fifth. Go all the way down to Onyx, Link's Roughest, and Tatu Bola, who finish in the final last 3 positions. In fact, that 4th last position was actually Swiftblade. So Swiftblade's going to drop to 4th. The Janitors take a 4-point lead. It's a tie for second between the Trojans and Flush. They each have a medal. Gold for the Janitors as they get it done today. and get it done in pretty impressive fashion. It was a show of speed and a show of precision as well at the end, with that move to cut in front of the Trojans and not allow any kind of last-second shenanigans from them. So they get the win. Congratulations to Flush. They pick up 24 points with a third-place finish, or they're now sitting at 24 points, with a third-place finish. So are the Trojans after a second-place finish. They're now at 24 points. Both are tied for second, but all today, they all aspire to be the Janitors. They get the win. They also take the lead in our overall standings, as we are 2 events through now with the 2021 Marble Champions League. Lots more to come here on Marble Fubeca. Until next time, I'm Keanu Biedrzycki, and thanks for watching.